Has been caught out from it as of yet. The damage being done from the top hatch. P4 has the cover onto Solitov. Gets taken off, and there's Rise with the other window. Goes for the hop out. There's one more. Caught out at the end of it. This Claymore was just able to find the tail end. They did pick. He might be able to get a surprise strike here. He goes a bit too high. There's a C4 to reveal the prize. Caught out. Great bit of play. Users suddenly all alone on the far end. No kid in pocket, no grenades either. They have the awareness. The Valcam's giving all the game away on the location. There it is. But with one to his left and one to his right, he's in the middle of a French pain sandwich, and well, he's got to do something supernatural here to try and get it out. There's the first. There's almost the second. Users!
Whiffed shots coming through from the MK14, allowing him to choose his battles wisely. Gets that 1v2 clutch, round one, MnM.
Try and wear its way around, and again, he knows exactly where it's placed. There's the fight through the scrap of the metal, but with 30 seconds and a two-body advantage, they've got to make a move. Solitov, he's able to get one more. There's the fight above. P4, he's trying to bite his way back in. There's one more player, so he's going to maybe rotate up once more as Habana goes for the plant under the quick cover. They're back down. The pings are coming through. There's the hot reveal. There's the watch. It's a rotate round. The first fight is Solitov's to win out. And with Bibu blinded outside the site itself, they know where he is. He's under intense pressure. It's an MnM round.
Well done by MnM there. I think they realized the issue quickly, found out SOLIS is on the board, kept their drones outside.
He's going to see if he can try and do some damage from underneath. Tyrant's going to see if he can maybe rotate up towards the fight onto Shinko, who's holding close. You can't move too quick in these engagements as a mirror, so you've got to make sure the connection comes through and the vector can be accurate. That grenade just slips out of the way after getting the kill. 15 seconds, Nello, he's dug in on the site, but he wants a little bit more. Does not see the position of the player around on the chassis. Neo's all that's left, not for long. Wolves take a round back.
Well done by Wolves, and again here a lot of pressure from them onto the initial piano.
To sort of set himself up in this position, they're going to try and get some of the stretch, and they've obviously got the X-Kairos prepped and ready to make that a tricky situation, but they have to make sure that they can move behind it. And that is exactly what the preparation is here underneath. Buried pushback, Bibu drops out, and Solitov drops one with Mowgli once again finding a quick response. Solitov round on the back with Nello, and suddenly it's only Bibu left. He took the first rotate, finds himself on the wrong side of Fireplace, but if he can creep up and get one more catch here, suddenly he might have a chance at a bit of a surprise. They are still holding on, and the kit does still need to make its way towards the site to get a plant off at this moment in time. The first drop, the first fight is Nello's, and MnM, they are able to get one more round back on their end.
Just making sure that they maintain their lead. They were able to build up right after the rehouse.
Come through not far afterwards. In fact, they take the drop. They're going to swing. The players rotated around the opposite end. P4 does get caught out by users just in time. They do not have control of Cocktail. Rise is still in that position, trying to throw smokes out, but with the one blocking his view, he cannot quite act. They have this. A backline, a bit of a rotation as they're going for the plants. They know how close that player is. No, Mowgli gets one, gets dropped in the trade out. 15 seconds, though. That grenade's going to roll off. Solitov, he gets an important take. Tyrant, maybe one that's a little bit more. They've got the kit, the tucked round in the corner. They've got to find the cover. Shinko just has to get this. The man that's going for the plant. He finds it out. He's looking for the next. Shinko, he tucks himself down. What a round.
What was the cover?
It's 3 brawl, but with the structure of that hold of Pixel and of these parts still put together, it becomes a little bit risky and looking for a rewardy here from the side of MnM. They've tucked onto the swing of the first. Users gets a second grenade. There's the jump out. Didn't get caught by the Claymore, but they know where Bibu is, so they can just do this. They have all the time in the world to get this plant put together. There's the repel back out towards the top as well. Why not? If you're being trapped to so much space, then take the space that's available. Nello, he's going to go for the rotate as well. Safe. Look what's in his pocket. All of his bolts. And this, I mean, I'm not going to say it's an impossible situation, but it's pretty much along that line here. Bibu knows it as well.
All he can do is just try and go for a defuse, right? There's nothing else he could have done at that point. As soon as he jumped out, the round was basically already sealed because he could get that plan down.
30 seconds, and this is starting to turn into a familiar story of both these teams hitting heads. Very quick early aggression that peters out into situations like this. An even-handed 3 versus 3 for the final push onto the site with barely any time. Shinka, he's knocking on the door. Does he know that one's crouched just round? As soon as he goes for anything here on the plant, there it is. The pop, the reveal, the rotate back round. They're both so close. And neither knew. Here's the drop round, the rotate off into the far end. The kit is out of anybody's hands. There's a swing and a great take from P4, a quick response. He's panicking, but he went to hold F, and unfortunately there was too much of MnM there. 5-2. They take their first defense.
Very sneaky there from Nella, just somehow bypassing the drones and the players for a perfect amount of time. There's only 30 seconds left now. Wolves, they need to execute with a man disadvantage here, and also not really having done any of the prep work they need to do. Tyrant comes in with a shotgun, blasts one away. That's Bibu off the board. P4 from Brownie. Knows one is going to be out there. Shink is going to be stuck in the freezer on the shelf because there's smoke canisters all around. He cannot check his corners as he goes. Still finds the kill onto Solotov though, but a fire pops off, and that is going to be making him even more stuck in his position he was.
Yeah, well, they lost one in amongst the fire. Uses down on the ground. It's 2 versus nobody. The Echo Drone was watching as well.
It's Mowgli that needs to be basically retrieving that kit and also start making that opening for the remainder of Wolves.
Well, there's the opening. Bibu almost finds the second in a similar spot, but they seem to have some awareness here. But Mowgli, I was going to say he got himself tucked in. Neo isn't going to fall for that surprise trick. There's Tyrant with a swing round. P4, all that's left, takes the blind man on the back end. 30 seconds. There's one on white, and the other's pulled himself back towards the corridor. They know where the kit is. They know that it's being watched as well. P4, he's bought himself a second of sanctity and silence. They've got a cross peek towards a single position. They've got the kit back, and where are you going to stick it, P4? 15 seconds. It's being watched with a bit of the drone cover. There's the movement. There's the swing round. They're cautious. There's the pop back up. The fight is Ubisoft, and the game and the map is going to be for MnM.
MnM, they find the first, and after a 7-2 loss in stage 3, they take this one 7-2 themselves against the Wolves. Instead of testing any way these attackers come from.
Yeah, this is what we talk about this map being a little bit slow on the attack. It's 2 minutes, and they've only really been able to get themselves circled around. The pressure on Geisha, the pocket EMPs are going to be able to pop open that wall, and they find P4 on the back end of it. Geisha's dropped, Nello gets Rise. They've retaken this control very quickly. Users swinging around onto Mowgli at the same time. Blackstairs is now that sort of back end of pressure. Shinka, he's tucked himself in towards the site itself, and now he's the only one left holding on. But as he's caught out in karaoke, watched, he's trying to sing his favorite song of survival, but instead has to slip and slink his way down back towards Black. Drops himself, gets caught out. The smoke is just going to force out the position on goal, but he's watched by the drone. They know exactly where he is. He has nowhere he can really go at this point. They just have to watch the corridor. MnM open with technically their 5th round in a row. What can they now do with it, MnM?
Should been the second kill there, but the wall just blocking the line of sight just slightly. But that extra man advantage should be crucial. But Rice just rotating into Geisha, takes down Solotov before he gets shut down himself. So that crown is at least being retaken by MnM.
There is still a player underneath. P4 prepped with a C4. He's ready to see if he can try and get the back end of this, but he has to make his appearance at the right possible time. 20 seconds, 3 versus 3. They've got to see if they can try and strong arm their way into the site at this point. Neo, he's holding off a bit of a swing angle as he's going to see if he can step his way in. There goes Mowgli, down and now out. They've got themselves dropped in. The C4 pops, not at the right place. There's the reveal and the rotate up the stairs. There's the bite back round. It's MnM's. Somehow that final call came at the dying end, and if they'd have backed off, that would have been either side. And there it is, the angle over the top, but look at all of that's not going to pop off. 30 seconds, and MnM, they've got to try and find a different route through, as Mowgli's able to find one more for the cover for the 2 bodies they took. They've lost 2 on the same swing on that door.
Yeah, the shield Ryan's playing behind here is posing a bit of an issue here for Wolves, because it's going to be stopping them from taking Dragon under control to get it with that Mew Jammer, but the opening on the side is that going to be causing the double team to come through. Neo and Nello both find success, but it's Mowgli with a quad kill. He needs to find the last. There's 9 seconds left on the board. He is set up for it, and he aces it as well. Wolves, they find a round on the back of the Mowgli ace. As they ran MnM out of time, they forced him to just push through. HP, and he's aware of the fact that he's being hunted, so he's quickly trying to find himself a way out, or at least a route out. As Solotov finds a double kill. Mowgli and Bibu just taking off the board like that, no big deal. And that's going to be allowing MnM to find themselves again with an opportunity to just start hammering down at the side. That's Geisha under control. Now just push onto the main stairs.
Oh, there's one more. He's inside the site. Cannot find the 4th. Shinka stops the run of Solotov, but Rise, he's doing his best to hold on to the opposite end. Downs Tyrant. He should be able to crawl at least to some safety round on the side, and there's Neo with the cover that he needs. Shinka, he's able to bite the second head off. Has to repeat a back-to-back ace of a different Wolves player at this point to try and clutch this round into their favor. Cannot quite find it there. Neo has the connection. MnM 3-1 here on their attacks across the board. See if they can swing into the positions that MnM's getting set up, which they're doing a lot of here. There's the hop through, and there's Solitov. He's able to get one more for the trouble, pushes them back once again, uses with the pressure on the opposite end. Solitov finds one more, having one of those games where you just sort of want to see what's on his gun and steal it for yourself to see if you can pull the same pops of magic. That's 3 for the round. He is on that 3.0 KD, and he's looking to see if he can get the 4th round here for MnM.
We do have a pre-placed C4, and we have one still in pocket by P4. Both these players are down below, but I believe Shinka just been spotted out by the Gemini Replicator there, so they're aware of what's happening. All they need to do now is find a table to plant on. That's the first to pop off. Shinka, you can start heading back up towards the top floor now. See what you can do. Allow P4 to play his magic. Actually, no, it's down below in barbecue, so they're hunting it down. They know they're out here. Shinka, the time is about to be running out. You just need to stay alive. As MnM is pushing through, they might have mistaken themselves here as well. As the time, 2 seconds, 1, it is going to be P4 to close it out in the end. And I believe Wolves was just as mistaken as I was, because they were all up on the top floor. They wasted so much utility. At the entry, they were hoping for at least a bit of a return, because they are 2 men down currently. So they really need something to go their way. Users, be careful you do not step in that frost mat. He gives away his position as he goes. And that means it's only up to Neo now. Breaks the keeper barrier, instantly gets pre-fired. It's a flawless round from Wolves. Brings themselves back up to 3-3 in a good position to try and turn that around, bring us to a map 3.
And as gold starts to get opened up, Wolves are still desperately looking for a first.
A minute, and they're still only trying to take control of that top floor. They haven't really tried to take care of the horizontally yet. But we find Neo instantly taken out by users though, as Solitov in the geisha finds one, hoping to go for a second. Locks it off. MnM able to fend them off on the top floor, not really having to worry about barbecue, so the true hold downstairs not fully tested.
Gets the bulletproof, gets tucked around, is expecting a swing and a fight from somewhere. The pings come across the board. Solitov wins the fight on the window, looking for the next. It's ring around the rosies, but the cover is on the stairs. Shinka does find Solitov inside. Geisha at this point. Rise is trying to knock on the back door of gold. Bibu's going to step in, but Neo has that cover as well, and these split angles are problematic at best, and at worst, it's just Shinka left. The rebuild there, the swing on the stairs, the force of the position, the pre-fire gets the connection onto users, but 15 seconds, and look at that rotate. Azami's not sticking around to find out what happens next. Going to move their way back to black. They've given over the site itself. They're going to sort of say, try and plant. We'll swing round and get the cover. The bait on the first, the pull and the rotation onto the second. Neo's round on the corner, 4 seconds. They popped up. There it's Nello. And there's 2 rounds.
Beautiful team play from MnM is all you have to say.
Suffering from Bibu, but Shinka getting the break onto the wall. 30 seconds, and Wolves, they've suddenly gone from 0 to 100. They're going to see if they can try and get somebody behind it. But Neo tucked and ready to drop the close angle to fight itself. P4, he's able to just get a snap to the second. They've got eyes towards the site. Can they try and get the cover of the blinds and get that kit down? What seemed impossible up to this point. There's the Azami inside, looking for the instant swing round. There it is. They're dropped down from the opposite cover. There's the cover, and there is MnM pushing themselves to map and series point. 3 defenses in a row.
That's also it, but also that's not the actual side, so they just start falling back to the actual side. You've just wasted a minute 20 trying to get side control. You still don't have it. Solitov finds the first, and basically they need to start all over again, but now a floor down, and they do not have the time for this. They need to go for brute force. Neo finds one. There's only 3 more left on the side of Wolves to keep them in it. Are they going to be able to succeed?
Rise gets a great take behind the bar and is going to see if he can try and pop up and get another, but 15 seconds. They've just got to try and drop, hope, and really hope as they hold F and see if they can get the kit down the blinds round. The swing and the kit drops out of it. It is a 4 versus 1, but Bibu, even he can't make that work. MnM, what a performance and what a day to take them past the Wolves. The team that a lot of us expected it, but they'll be keeping their eyes towards Asai. And MnM, they'll have their eyes firmly locked on the game that's up next and tomorrow.